Hi, fifth graders. It is Miss Caliendo. I am creating this video to help better explain your social studies project that you are going to be working on starting Monday, and then it will be due on Friday of this week, May 1st. So there's going to be a few different things that you are going to need to look at for this project. I'm going to explain those things to hopefully make it a little bit easier for you to understand. The first piece of the project is your research project guidelines. The document looks like this. So 13 Colonies Research Final Project. You are going to have three options as to how you want to create your project. There's going to be a brochure option, a Google Slides presentation option, and a historical fiction narrative writing option. You are only choosing one of those options. You are going to need to use your research note-taking guide from Google Classroom that you used last week in your researching to help you complete the project. As you work through your final project, you are going to use this document, which is your guidelines, to help you make sure that you're incorporating everything that you need in the project. Number 4, as you can see here, is optional. These are some extension ideas if you finish early or you want to add a little extra something to your project. Here are some ideas of how you can do that. Like I said, it is optional, so don't feel like you have to. But all you have to do is click that link and then click here. It will bring you to a separate document that will explain those ideas for you. Now, if you scroll a little bit down, you have a checklist. These are all of the things that need to be included in your project. It's going to look similar to your research note-taking guide from last week. The first thing that needs to be included is geography. You're also going to need to include history, economic activities, citizenship, culture. Historical significance is actually optional. You need to also make sure that you are taking care of any final revisions or editing. Use spell check if you need to. And then cite your resources. So this is going to be your document that you use to make sure that you include everything that you need to. Once you have included, let's say you took care of geography, that's in your project, you can go ahead and put an X in this box so that you can keep track of the fact that you have indeed included that. And then once all boxes have been checked, that is when you know your project is meeting the expectations. Now, your first option is a brochure. The brochure is going to look like this. So this is option number 1, the brochure. You're going to fill out each of the boxes using the information from your research guide. So come visit you're going to insert your colony name here. You're going to fill in all of the information. There's some pictures that need to be included. It tells you when to put those in and what they need to be about. And then you're citing your sources at the end. There is an example for you so you know what that looks like. And like it said on your research note-taking guide, you needed to have 3 sources. So you're going to be listing those there for us. And then any pictures that you use, you need to cite those as well. Like I said, there's an example. There's an example for both of those. Your next option is a Google Slides presentation. Now, this is going to be very, very basic. You can do what you'd like with the background, with the fonts, things like that to make it a little bit more appealing to the eye. So there is a template kind of for you so you know what needs to be included on each slide with some additional directions at the bottom. And so you're working your way through that if you choose the Google Slides presentation, making sure that you have everything included on there that is listed here. And the last option is the personal narrative writing option. So if you're choosing this, you're going to be kind of creating somewhat of a journal as a person who might have been living during the time when your 13 colony was the way it was when you did your research. So way back then. And if you choose this option, you're going to have to read these directions to get a better idea of what that looks like and what is required of you and some things you need to think about. And then your sources will be at the end. Like it says here, this will go at the end. So your letter would be before your resources or before your bibliography. So those are your 3 options. All 3 options are going to be in Google Classroom. And like I said, you only have to choose one of those options to complete. You only need to do one. So make sure you're choosing the one you like the best in order to complete your final project. Please feel free to let me know if you have any questions. You can message me through Google Classroom, or you can email me using that new email that was set up last week. That is probably the best way to get in contact with me, since I'm on my email a lot because I'm getting emails constantly. So feel free to reach out to me if you need to. Hopefully that better explains what all of these documents are. So like I said, here's your guidelines. Everyone will be using this to make sure they have everything they need in their project. Option number 1 is the brochure, which looks like this, resources at the bottom. Option number 2 is your Google Slides with your resources on the last slide, making sure that you're making this a little bit more appealing to the eye, so changing the background, changing the font, adding images, so on and so forth. And your last option is that personal narrative writing option. You choose one out of those 3 options, whichever one is your favorite. And if you have time, remembering that those optional extension ideas are there for you as well. And like I said, please let me know if you have any questions. Emailing me is probably your best option. Good luck, friends.